All right, welcome. This is my 2021 Goals and Intentions workshop. I'm so excited to see all your gorgeous faces. And for anyone new, anyone who have not met yet, thank you for being here. My name is Amy V. Cooper. I am a photography consultant and a business and mindset coach. I've been working in the photography industry for 20 years. I've done just about everything you can possibly do with a camera, in a good way. That sounded a little weird. I have been a professional photographer. I have worked as a photo editor for magazines and entertainment companies. I've worked as an art buyer in the advertising industry. I have worked as a photo rep. I've owned my own agency representing photographers and hair and makeup artists all over the country. And now I am full-time consulting, which I absolutely love. I work with commercial and editorial photographers. And today, this workshop is for everyone. We won't be specifically focused on photography, but I welcome any and all questions that you have about photography or anything else that comes up for you. I am recording this and I will post this later to my blog. So if anyone has any questions that you would prefer to remain anonymous, I would invite you to send me a private message in the chat and I will try to remember to look at those as we go along. And also, before we jump in, I would like to acknowledge that as I am based in Austin, Texas, I am on the traditional land of the Humanos, Tonkawa, and Comanche peoples. And I am humbled today to pay respect to Indigenous elders, past, present, and future. And if you would like to learn more about land acknowledgement, I would encourage you to visit native-land.ca. And I am going to drop that in the chat for you. Did that work? There we go. Yes, it worked twice. Okay, so let's get started. I would like for all of us to set an intention for this meeting together, this workshop together. I love to set intentions before I do anything and everything in my business, before I make a phone call, before I have a meeting, before I send out a marketing email. So I would love for you to think about what your intention is for you for this hour. And you can tell me in the chat if you would like, or just think about it to yourself. How do you want to feel? What do you want to get out of this time today? How do you want to feel at the end of it? What are you hoping to accomplish? My intention for this hour is to hopefully provide you with a little bit of clarity and direction about goal setting, and for everyone to feel comfortable and supported. I hope that I'll speak clearly. And maybe a few of you will have a really brilliant thought or experience or action come to you. And I also love to see people connecting within these webinars. So does anybody else have any intentions that they want to share with me? You can share them in the chat. Anything specific you're hoping to learn, or any kind of challenge you're thinking of that you need help with, feel free to drop that into the chat. Need more clarity? Yes. I have a feeling the questions I'm going to ask you today are going to provide a lot of clarity. So thank you for sharing that. Okay. We're going to start today with discovering what our goals and intentions are for the next 6 months. I don't like to set goals for a full year. I think 2020 made that obvious why we might not want to do that. So let's just think about the next 6 months in front of us. The second thing we're going to talk about is how to break those down in a way that makes us feel like those goals are attainable and easy to follow. And then we're going to talk about accountability, which is really important. And after that, we are going to talk about celebrating which is one of the really fun parts of that. Confidence to own my goals and know I'll grow into them. I love that so much. I hope to feel less overwhelmed. That's a great one. Clarification on job titles around photography as I broaden my career path. Um, that's a great one, Emily. I actually have a whole document on job titles that's in my masterclass. Um, Natalie says, stay focused on goals without adding more new goals. Oh my gosh, that's a big problem for me. I just keep adding and adding and adding. um, Wonderful. Let's see what else we have in here. Stay focused. Yes. It's hard to think ahead in 2020. I want to start flexing that mental muscle again. Yes, absolutely. Add some method to the madness, and my goals are achievable. We're going to do that for sure. Receive ideas and inspiration. Yes. Okay, wonderful. Thank you all for that. Okay, so everyone's got their notebooks, their sticky pads, a pen. I would also invite you all to turn off your email. That might sound shocking and scary. Turn off your email, turn your phone over. I think it's really important to give yourself time to focus. And let me see if there's anything else. Learn more this year, build systems. I love it. Okay. All right. I want us to start now by just taking a few deep breaths together. This is another thing that I do before a meeting, before a phone call. I take 3 deep breaths and I drink water. So let's just start with 1 deep breath in. This is going to help me relax too. And let it go, starting to feel that stress and nervousness and excitement from being here is starting to fall away from your body. And if you can, ground your feet. Another breath in. Let it go. All of the drama from this week, allow it to melt into the background for now so we can focus on this. 1 more deep breath with me. Feeling really relaxed and open to receiving. How does that feel for everyone? Thumbs up. Awesome. Thank you for allowing me to do that. Okay. We are going to start talking about goals, but before we get started, I want you all to hear me when I say that you are all enough right now in this moment, in this exact moment in time, without any goals achieved or planned, without any tasks, with nothing on your to-do list. You're absolutely amazing. We are probably aware or maybe completely unaware that we are living in an attention economy, and that's no longer sustainable. If 2020 has taught us anything, capitalism and measuring our value in terms of our productivity is no longer a good thing. I'm not going to talk to you today about hustling. And if your only goal for this year is to delete TikTok from your phone, I fully support that. But today I'm going to welcome you to make big business goals or small personal goals, or big personal goals and small business goals, whatever feels right for you. And I'm going to encourage you to also prioritize rest and play this year as much as you are prioritizing work. And I want your calendar to have appointments for work, for rest and play, just as many appointments for rest and play as you are putting on your calendar for work. Okay, so maybe some of you already know what your goals are, and maybe some of you don't. And for those who do not, or for those who need a little more clarity on your goals, I'm going to go through a series of hopefully fantastic questions. All right, so the first question, and I'm going to paste these into the chat for you. Write this down in your notebook if you can. I think physically writing it down with your pen can be really helpful. The first question is, what are you most proud of from the past year? So write that down in your journal and you can start thinking about that, writing about that. I have a lot of questions to go through today, so I don't expect you all to finish this exercise while we're on this call. Um, if anybody wants to share in the chat what you're most proud of from the past year, I would love for you to pop that in there. Welcome to anyone who has joined us since we got started. I'm so excited to see you all. Hi, Ryan. What are you most proud of from the past year? Health and staying in business. Woo, big one. For me, I think most of you are already aware, like ad nauseum, that I'm very proud of the photography marketing masterclass that I created in 2020. And I could not have done that without my accountability partners. And we're going to talk about partners, and I'm going to talk about how they helped me this year. And I'm excited that Meg is on here. She was one of my business accountability partners. I don't know if Stephanie's with us yet. Thank you so much, Emily. I started following my intuition and started a podcast. That's exciting. Congratulations, Emily. And feel free to share a link to your podcast. Jaja says that she set up her own in-home studio. That's really exciting. Resilience. Helping write the DEI statement for ASMP, big one. Finding my niche. Proud of my forerunner. I love it. All right. Those are wonderful. The next question is, what did you say goodbye to in 2020? Or what did not feel good that you wish you had said goodbye to in 2020? I'm going to post that in the chat. And feel free to answer in the chat if you would like to. What did you say goodbye to in 2020? Or what didn't feel good for you in 2020 that you wish you had said goodbye to? Another thing you can write here is, what do you need to say goodbye to? Yes, Roxy. Toxic relationships, self-doubt, leaving burnout. Yes. Burnout for sure. So a toxic relationship, that was one for me. That was really hard to do, but I had one of those friends who just called me that, was very negative and hysterical and manic and complaining all the time. And I decided, you know what? I don't have the energy. At some point, had to say goodbye to that. Insecurities, I love that. Self-limiting beliefs, high five. Getting in my own way, yes. Beautiful. I wish I said goodbye to low self-value on a professional level. Well, we're going to say goodbye to that this year. We don't have time for that. That so many of my clients feel that way. They don't know if they're ready. They don't want to bother people. I hear people say that a lot. I don't want to bother anyone. But people want to be bothered by you. People need to be bothered by you. People need your services. Every single one of you has something of value that someone else needs. Anxiety about what I'm not getting done. Yes, bye. Working harder instead of smarter. Love these. Beautiful. Okay, third question. What was your biggest challenge in 2020? What was your biggest challenge in 2020? For me, I feel like a big challenge was feeling safe, honestly. It's a big year. For me, after 6 months of being in my house, I really needed to get out of my house, and I had to find a way to allow myself to accept the decisions I was making about going to see people and doing it safely and not spending the whole time with that person worried about am I am I going to get sick, and just allow myself to be present in that moment, knowing I'm taking as much care as I can to be safe and enjoy that moment. Hi Casper, I see your gorgeous face. Dealing with the unknown, not seeing my parents. Oh my God, that's a big one, Claudia. That was a big part of what I was talking about, being afraid to see my parents. Staying positive. Ooh, big one. Utilizing time without feeling guilty. These are great ones. Yes, trying not to live in fear. Okay. Question number 4. What was your best moment, your biggest win or feat accomplished of 2020? What was your best moment of 2020? One of my best things from 2020 was I started to schedule every Saturday a Zoom with 2 of my girlfriends that I used to be really close with in New York. One's in New York and one's in Oslo, Norway. And just even before the pandemic, we weren't really, talking that much, but we decided we're going to Zoom every Saturday. And we've been doing that for several months now. And it has been so much fun and so incredible. And being able to support each other. I could get choked up if I talk about it too much, but that's been really beautiful. All the girlfriend Zooms, things like this, the webinars. Drop in the chat. I want to hear what your best moment of 2020 was. Oh, I love that, Angela. Zoom calls with my kids. Finding Black women photographers online. Let's just give a hand for that. Thank you, Polly. Amazing. Black women photographers. And if you want to post the link to that in the chat, we'll love that. Adopting the pup of my dreams, Casper. Casper, can we put pictures in the chat? Casper got a new dog named Chili. It's the cutest. Taking classes at Creative Live. Grew flowers and delivered. Oh my God, Amanda, I love that. Wow. That's beautiful. I'm growing peppers and they're just now coming up late in January, which I don't understand, but I will take that. Doing yoga daily. Wonderful. Okay, let me move this along. What do you really want to contribute in 2021? What do you really want to contribute in 2021? Oh, that didn't work out, did it? I think this is a really big question that will help you come up with a goal that's going to feel really good for you. What do you really want to contribute? So for me, I decided that in 2021, I just want to be a lighthouse. I want to be a lighthouse for my family in whatever way that I can, for my clients, for anyone who needs me. Our next question is, what has been draining your energy? What really drains your energy in your business, in your life? How can we get rid of Instagram? Can I get an amen? The news, yes. Turn off both. I delete Instagram from my phone on the reg. Indecision, comparison game. What has been draining you of energy and how can we just take that off the plate? Here's another doozy for you all. Social media, yes. What do you keep saying you are going to do, but you never do it? What do you keep saying that you're going to do? What's the goal that you keep making year after year and you never do it? How about let's completely get rid of that goal? Let's just throw it in the trash. It's not happening. It's not meant to happen. I kept saying I want to write a blog every week and I want to send out more content to my clients. But it could take me a good 7 hours to write and edit a blog. So I just decided I'm going to show up in person. I'm going to show up on Instagram Live. I'm going to do these webinars. If there's something you keep saying you're going to do, but you never do it, you're probably not meant to do it. Another great question is, what gave you the most return on investment of your time and your energy in 2020? What marketing task gave you the most return on your investment, or what gave you the least return on your investment? What was the best use of your time and energy? And feel free to drop those in the chat too. Cold emailing, update my website, learning, networking. Love it. Every single photographer that I work with tells me that when I ask them this question, the questionnaire, when I'm doing a portfolio review, I ask them, where did your last 5 jobs come from? Almost every single one says word of mouth or networking. And if that's your biggest return on investment, that's what you need to be giving the biggest piece of the pie in your marketing plan. What do you wish you were doing more of? What do you wish you were doing more of? Hopefully by now, some of you are getting ideas for what you want your goal to be, or your goals to be for the next 6 months. Is anybody getting those ideas? Give me a thumbs up. Head nods, good. Okay. So what is one goal that really excites you? What is one goal that really excites you? So you said you want to do more shooting on set. You want to do more personal projects. Traveling, yes. Can we please freaking travel? Shooting on location. So those things that you want to do more of. And one goal that really excites you, and I want you to assume that anything is possible, that there is nothing in your way. What would that one really big goal be? Personal projects, reaching out to people for collaborations, yes. Exhibiting more art, connecting with clients on my dream list, yes. Every single one, Ian. We're gonna make it happen. Collaborative personal projects. Yes, Chava, we're gonna get that done. Love it. Okay, hopefully you all have 1 or 2 goals in mind. And now I want you to take that sticky note and write that goal down on your sticky note. And I want us to now get really specific with our goal. So I have this goal that I want to read 24 books this year. That might seem a little overwhelming just to say that, but how can I break it down? How can I break that goal down into tasks? And we're going to get to that in a minute. So a few more questions. Now that you have your goal, I want you to ask yourself, why do you want that goal? Why do you want this goal? Yes, Casper, I'm going to get you to send me some book recommendations. If anybody reads a good book, just DM me. What is it going to look like? What's it going to feel like? What is it going to feel like when you accomplish this goal? Love it, Tony. Love it, Daniel. How are you going to benefit from accomplishing this goal? What's the benefit going to be for you? How will others benefit? If we can think about how others are going to benefit from this goal, it's going to make it a lot easier for us to take action. So If I have the goal that I want to make $500,000 this year, I have to break that down a lot. Otherwise, it's a bit overwhelming. So if I want to make $500,000 this year, how do I break that down into monthly? And once I break it down into monthly, how many jobs do I have to get per month to reach that monthly goal? And then I have to break that down. How do I get that many jobs in a month? How many networking events do I have to go to? How many marketing blasts do I have to send out? Um, and then how am I going to benefit from that goal? Well, if I make $500,000, then I can take a vacation to a gorgeous spa. How will someone else benefit from that goal? Well, I can take my best friend with me. They'll benefit from that, right? If my goal is I want to shoot a Gucci campaign this year, and I hope at least one of you has this goal. If your goal is to shoot a Gucci campaign, how are you going to benefit? You're going to be inspired. You're going to feel more confident. You're going to have a gorgeous portfolio piece. How are others going to benefit from you shooting a Gucci campaign? Well, you might launch the career of a model. You might launch the career of a makeup artist. You might um, you might help Gucci make more money. You might win an advertising award that you can share with other people. Let me know what some of these goals are. Drop them in the chat if you know what your goals are, if you want to share them. Chava, how will shooting your mom's recipes benefit other people? I'm so excited about your goal. No, making money is not a weak ass goal. If we have money, we can help ourselves, we can sustain ourselves, we can send that money to other people. For me, making so much more money in my business this year allowed me to give away my products to people. It allowed me to give more time to people for free. Um, of course, you can have as many goals as you want, Annie, but I don't want you to have 10 goals. All right. How will those goals benefit other people? Um, is there anything that is holding you back? Do you feel any resistance coming up when you think about attempting this goal? Let me know if any of you are feeling resistance about what you are dreaming about right now. And if you are feeling resistance, if you're not sure how to accomplish that goal, think about what changes you can make to get there. Not understanding how the world is unfolding. It'll be too much work to get to do alone. Emily, you don't have to do it alone. Can you ask for help? I'm going to talk about that too in just a minute. If you're feeling resistance, ask yourself, what changes can you make? Who can you bring in to help you? How can you break this down into smaller bites? Help with costs. Yes. Shyness about finding the right collaborators. Natasha, I would invite you right now to just drop in the chat what kind of collaborators you're looking for and where. And by the way, if anyone drops a goal in the chat, I want everybody else to pump them up. That's what we're here for, to support each other today. Financial intimidation, need a better portfolio. Does anybody want to talk about that? Ryan or Bethany, do you want to unmute and talk about that? Managing my time between creative work and jobs. That's a big one, managing your time. Who can you ask to help you with other things that you have going on? Who can you ask to come watch your kids for an hour? Who can you ask to do the grocery shopping this week so you can have that time? Who can you hire to create your marketing list for you so that you have more time? Fear of being emotionally vulnerable. I'm a visual artist and I know investing myself emotionally would make more meaning in the work, but it's so scary. Yes, it is scary. How can you start on a small scale and work your way up? Any kind of fear or being vulnerable is a muscle, and you just have to start somewhere. Start in a space that feels safe for you and work your way up. I used to identify as complete introvert. I didn't want to do any networking. I just wanted to, when I started my agency, some of you have heard me tell the story before. I was like, I'm an introvert, so I'm just going to send people really cool gifts in the mail and cards and promos in the mail, and it's going to be so cute. And they're going to hire my artist. And it took me about 5 seconds to realize that that was not going to work and that I was going to have to figure out how to talk to people. And look at me now, hosting a webinar. It really is a muscle. Comparison. Yes. Okay. Here's another thing. Who can you surround yourself with? Thinking about your goal, who can you surround yourself with to level up? When you're thinking about your goal and what you need to do you feel like the people that you surround yourself right now are gassing you up? Are they supporting you? Are they cheering you on? Do they care? Are they rolling your eyes? Do they believe in you? We might have to stop spending time with those people who are not supporting us, who are not being present with us, who are not excited about our goals. And try to find more people who are. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone here, that's right. Is there anyone or any habit that you need to say goodbye to in order to accomplish this goal? What is the habit? What is the belief? Is there a belief that you need to say goodbye to? Maybe get out your sticky note and say goodbye, shyness. Goodbye, doubt. Is there anyone or any habit that you need to say goodbye to? Anxiety, yes. So anxiety has been a really big one in my life. It's something that I've been working on very hard. And I've done a lot of tapping for anxiety. You can look up tapping or EFT. That's really changed my life. Also, meditation, taking magnesium, talking to other people who have anxiety has been incredibly transformative for me. Also, I want you to think about what your anxiety is trying to tell you. So, anxiety is nothing but a really annoying car alarm. It's very real and very annoying, but it's just a car alarm. It's telling you there's something going on that is out of alignment with what you're supposed to be doing or out of alignment with how you're supposed to be feeling. So when you get a panic attack or you get anxiety, it's your body telling you you're supposed to be doing something different, or you did not get enough sleep, you don't have enough water, or you've been on Instagram for too long, you've been watching the news for too long. It's a signal. So if you get anxiety, I want you to be compassionate with yourself, and I want you to ask the anxiety, what is the message? Why are you honking your horn at me? And know that you're safe. When I was running my agency, I can't tell you how many signs the universe sent me telling me this is not what you're supposed to be doing. And I had incredible anxiety. And since I quit doing it, a lot of the anxiety is gone. Of course, I also credit tapping for that. All right, we can have a whole another webinar on anxiety. And if you want to, just let me know. Okay, so what habits or people do you need to say goodbye to help you accomplish this goal this year? What do you need to achieve these goals? Can they be broken down into steps? Can they be broken down into weekly tasks? So I mentioned that one of my goals this year is to read 24 books. So for example, how can I break that down? That means 2 books a month. And I want at least half of those books to be women authors. I want at least 6 of those books to be Black women authors or Indigenous or Latina. So what do I need to do to read 2 books a month? How long does it take me to read a book? So how much time do I need to block on my calendar for reading every day or every week? Who do I need to talk to? Or can I start a Pinterest board of the books that I want to read? Can I start a list? Can I start saving books in my Hoopla or on my library website or in my Amazon? Yes, audiobooks. Melanie, the last question, I think I put it in there. Is there any one habit that you need to say goodbye to? And then now we're talking about breaking things down into tasks or steps. Does anyone have a big goal that they don't know how to break down? They just have one big goal and they're overwhelmed and they don't know where to start. Yes. Ian, do you want to put that in? Does anybody want to put that in the chat and we'll go through it? Or if anybody wants to unmute, we can talk through that. Anyone have a big goal that they need help breaking down into smaller tasks? Making money. Opening a studio. Polly, do you want to talk about that? Do you want to unmute?
Sure. Hi everyone. I hope you hear me okay. I'm currently in Oklahoma, my mom's place, but I work in New York. And so, yeah, I think one of my goals, I'm sure like everyone here at one point or has, but is opening a studio. I want to open up a studio for Black women photographers specifically. And it's just like this large concept. And so for me, it's like, do I crowdsource the money? Do I just save? Or, the equipment? Do I get sponsors or do I finance everything? And so it's just all these like parts to it that seems very overwhelming. And so I know that's just like one of my goals is to have a studio for that. But I just don't know, at what point, and especially during this time, I mean, would it even make sense to have one? How would it even be used? And so that's just where I'm at.
Okay. So I would love for you to go through all the questions that we talked about earlier. Why do you want this? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to have in it? Where do you want it to be located? Um, and then talk to your audience. Talk to some photographers who might be interested in using it. Do you want to charge them for it? If not, well, if you do want to be able to charge for it, how much are they willing to pay? Ask them what they need. That's one thing you can do. Um, and then break it down into, you know, start looking at spaces, and that will help you get an idea of what your budget might be. And then you can keep talking about, okay, well, if that's my budget, how much money do I need to earn each month? Or how much of a grant do I need to ask for? Hopefully some of those questions will help you break those down. So you can talk about the space, and then you can say, all right, in January, I'm just going to tell people I want to do this and get their feedback and ask them what their needs are. In February, I'm going to start looking at real estate. I'm going to start looking at rental options just to get an idea of what the cost might be. In March, I'm going to figure out what I need as far as equipment or software to help me rent the space out, things like that. Hopefully that will help you get through that. Okay, cool. Let me see what else we have in the chat here. Yes, Annie, hiring someone to be a part of my team. That's something that's going to be big for me this year. And I am hosting a webinar in February. I think it's going to be on February 12th called Delegate to Elevate. And one of my friends is going to be joining me, and we're going to talk about how to find help. Where do you find it? How do you get started with it? How much does it cost? I think you all probably be surprised to know that getting an assistant actually is probably not as expensive as you think it is. So we're going to talk a lot more about that in February. Okay, I had another question come through my email yesterday about goals. And the question is, I've been mulling over, and maybe it's something you'll cover. How do you define a goal when part of the goal is out of your control? For example, I like to shoot X number of cover stories this year. I also realize that so much of that is out of my hands, like their editorial calendar, location of the story, aesthetic, assigning editor, etc. How do you frame the goal in a way that's still motivating and exciting, but doesn't feel like you failed if it didn't happen? That's such a great question. So I think it's just setting up the goal and breaking down the tasks, and going on this journey is really what it's all about. It's not as important that you finish this goal exactly how you imagine it as it is just getting in motion, because if the goal's meant for you, it will happen. If it's not meant for you, there's going to be roadblocks trying to steer you in another direction. Just like what happened with my agency. It wasn't meant to happen, and I kind of knew it when I started it, but I knew that I was supposed to be on that journey. And from going through the motion of building that business, I met really incredible people, and it really set me up for the business that I'm supposed to be in, which is what I'm doing now. So if you don't finish the goal the way you originally envision it, don't worry about it, because along the way, you're going to meet incredible people. Other opportunities are going to arise for you. And that's another reason why I say, let's not make yearly goals. Let's make 6 month goals. And every month, I want you to look at your goals and ask yourself what's working, what's not working, and give yourself permission to pivot. Doesn't have to be so hard set. Okay. Polly, looks like you got some collaborators coming in. I love it. Keep letting me know what your goals are. Let everyone else in the room know what your goals are so that we can pump you up and help you find resources. Take advantage of the chat room and our time together. Casper says, how can I allow more joy and fun in the process of renovating my home? Oh my gosh, I love that. So, Casper, you tell me. Do you need a playlist? Do you need a disco ball going off? Like, what brings you joy in general? Um, do you need to put a pan of chocolate chip cookies in the oven so you're smelling cookies while you're working? What's fun for you? Evie's gonna grow her food print shop. I love it. Evie, am I saying that wrong? If you have a link to your print shop, put it in there.
I did.
Let's see what else we have in here. Evie. Jessica Addy wants to photograph a cookbook. Does anyone know any chefs that need a cookbook? Does anyone know any cookbook publishers? Is anyone a food stylist? Send Jessica a message. Emily is also wanting to do that. Send Emily a message. Emily needs a designer for her women's photo journal. What is a women's photo journal? Tell us more about that. Emily's looking for a designer. Natasha wants to do more tests. If anyone knows, Natasha, you're in LA, right? Yes. If anybody knows wardrobe stylist, prop stylist in Los Angeles, let's help her out. Love it. Love it. Megan's goal is to get a rep and shoot at least one of the dream clients on her list. Everybody, shout out to Megan because she's going to get a rep this year. Love these. Thanks, Emily, for sharing that. Okay. Any questions about breaking things down? How's everyone feeling? Thumbs up? Okay, let's keep going. So the most important thing here for your goals is to make sure that you are blocking time to work on them. So take out your sticky note pad again if you have one. I want you to think of a time. Maybe it's a Monday morning or a Sunday afternoon. What is a good time for you when you are free of other distractions that you can work on your goals? And write that down on your sticky pad. So Monday morning or Sunday afternoon. And as soon as we get off this call, I want you to go to your online calendar. I want you to block a meeting with yourself either every whatever time it is, every Monday morning or every Sunday afternoon, or maybe it's the first Monday of the month, block at least an hour of yourself to block time to do your tasks. So that's really important. Make sure it's on your calendar. And if something comes up at that time, make sure you move your appointment to another day, like 1 or 2 days away. Okay, we're halfway through now. Hopefully, I can blaze through the rest of this a little bit faster. And we're going to start talking about accountability. Let me see if there's any other questions in here. Love that. Love having rewards. How's everyone feeling? Do we need a dance break? Do we need to stretch? Stand up if you need to, drink some water. Okay, accountability. You are 60% more likely to accomplish your goals if you tell someone. So don't be shy. Tell us in the chat what your goals are. If you're feeling shy or if you don't know what your goals are, send me a DM later, send me a text. Pick up your phone right now. I'll give you permission to pick up your phone right now and text one person your goal. Text one person your goal and then put your phone down. Also, I really want to challenge every single one of you to post on Instagram in your Instagram stories today what your goal is. Tell as many people as possible what your goal is. This will make you 60% more likely to accomplish it. If you post your goal on Instagram and tag me in your story, I will send you my 2021 marketing calendar for free. So you can do that now, or you can do that later. And if you don't know what it is, just tell me later. You are 95% more likely to accomplish your goals if you have an accountability partner. So I want you to write down right now the names of maybe 3 people who could help support you in your goals. So who are 3 people that you can think of who are goal-oriented, positive people who you know will support your goal and cheer you on? And I want you to try and come up with an accountability partner for yourself. And if that partner is me, great. Maybe you find a partner in the chat room right now. Maybe it's not good to have your best friend as your accountability partner. Maybe it's not great to have your, boyfriend, husband, wife, partner as your accountability partner. Sometimes it's better to have a business acquaintance. So try and think of someone. If you can't think of anyone, if you want to find a partner in the chat, just hit it up, find someone in there. If you want to do accountability with me, I would absolutely love it. I'll tell you more about my accountability package before we go today. So like I mentioned, I actually have 4 accountability partners, 3 of whom are here with us today. I'm so excited about that. And let's see. I have 2 business partners, Meg and Stephanie, who helped me accomplish my goal of getting my course launched. And when we started our accountability at the beginning of the year, we were meeting every week and watching videos on how to create a course together. And it was so great to have them doing it with me because we were able to ask each other questions, ask each other for feedback, and share resources. So if you can find someone who has a goal that's similar to yours, you can share resources. Maybe you can share the cost of agency access, or I don't know if I should say that out loud, but that's probably not. Don't do that. But share resources, share your research. And now Meg and Stephanie and I meet once a month to check in with each other to see how we're going. And so great to have that person there who's giving you time and being present with you to talk about that goal and to talk about business. It's incredible. I also just started an exercise accountability partner just this week with my friend Bethany. So every morning, Bethany and I text each other what we're going to do as far as exercise for that day. So I say, hey, Bethany, I'm going to go for a bike ride at 3:00 today. And she might text me at 4 and ask me how my bike ride was. I also have a morning partner who's also here with us. and we have what we call a magical morning practice. And what this practice is, which I'm obsessed with, I've been doing it for years. Um, we get out first thing in the morning, maybe after we've had our coffee or while we're drinking our coffee, or maybe before we even get out of bed. We take that um, audio recording app on our phone and we talk about 2 minutes about what we're grateful for that day. And it could be anything. And then after that, we say how our day was as if our day had already happened. So maybe today I was telling her I had the best webinar, I had the perfect amount of people. They left great comments. I inspired people. Some people connected. And then my husband came home in a great mood. We had a delicious dinner, a beautiful night's sleep. So I say how my day went as if it had already happened the way that I want it to happen. And then I get into more long term things. So, so lately I'll say, I just got back from Miami. I went to a dance club with my girlfriend Tanya. Um, we danced all night long and we got to hug each other. And we were so excited about how the bass felt in our body. And then we went home and we swam in the pool and looked up at the stars. And another one I've been doing is I'm so grateful for my new office that I just finished decorating. It's got so much light and plants and things like this. So long-term goals as if they had already happened. And it's really fun to do. And it also gets your mind in the place of starting to recognize those things and recognize the opportunities that will bring these things to you, if that makes sense. You know how when you're thinking of buying a new car and you start thinking, okay, maybe I want to get a Forerunner. And then you keep seeing Forerunners on the street all the time, like you're just seeing them all the time. That's not just coincidence, it's your mind working to bring that into your life. So I'd encourage you to do that. So I'm going to drop some questions in the chat and I want you to think about your goal. And you can do this with a partner with audio, or you can just journal every morning. Take some time to journal. So ask yourself, how do you feel now that this goal has been accomplished? What does it look like? Melanie is looking for an accountability partner in the chat. What actions did you take to meet your goal? So maybe you say, I'm so grateful that I just shot the Gucci campaign. And I shot the Gucci campaign because I was so consistent in my marketing this year. And I sent um, whoever the creative director is at Gucci an email every month until they called me and told me they need me to shoot something. Who supported you? Who supported you in that goal? Maybe you say, I'm so grateful that I hired a marketing assistant to help me create that list. How did you celebrate? How did you celebrate? Pretend like your goal has already been completed, and I want you to think about how you celebrated. Did you go to a club in Miami with your favorite person? Can y'all tell I'm dying to get out of the house? I don't even go to clubs, but this is my fantasy now to just dance in a nightclub, even though I'm like 100 years old. How did you benefit from accomplishing this goal? So, how did others benefit from it? So thanks to me reading 24 books, I was able to give money to 24 authors and leave reviews for them that led them to get other people to buy their book. Sweaty and breath on people. Yes. Should we just have a dance party when this is over? Because I've got a sick playlist. Okay. So give yourself time to either talk this through every morning on your app or write it in your journal. Just make sure that you're taking time to really fantasize about really big goals already being accomplished. I know it probably sounds crazy to some of you, but I've been doing this for years, and maybe Casper can attest. we've really manifested some really exciting things. Okay. Take time with your partner when you meet with your partner every month to evaluate again what's going on and pivot if you need to, and be compassionate with yourself if you need to pivot. If you said, my goal this month is to send out a newsletter, I mean, if my goal for the 6 months is to send out a newsletter every month, and you absolutely dread writing that newsletter, creating that newsletter, maybe you drop it and just shift your goal to something else. Um, Again, like I said, in the end, it's always going to be about the journey, what you learned from it, who you met through it. It's not really about, did you meet X number of dollars or X number of clients. Maybe you didn't get the Gucci campaign, maybe you got the Prada campaign instead. I'm not going to be sad for you when that happens. Okay. Also, make sure you celebrate your goals. That's incredibly important. I would love for you to tell me in the chat how you are going to celebrate your goals this year. Are you going to go to the club? Are you going to have a sushi dinner? Are you going to buy yourself those boots that you've been coveting? Are you going to make a donation to an organization? Are you going to have a party? Take my wife out to dinner. I love it. Date night and new equipment. Oh, yes. Get yourself a new camera. I love that. Um, Travel. Yes. Yes. And allow yourself time to really dream tattoo. Oh my God. I love that. Go to Japan. Yes. Are you guys getting excited about finishing these goals? Chava approves the tattoo. Okay. We're all going to have a dance party and we're going to get tattoos in Japan together. I love it. I love it. All right. Anyone have questions? Any questions coming up? Um, any resistance coming up? Any confusion? Are you feeling more clear about what your goals are and how you're going to get them done? Give me a thumbs up if you're feeling more clarity. Good, good, good. Love it. Awesome. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Um, I do have an accountability package. It's a 6-month package that I love, love, love to do. So if you don't have an accountability partner, or if you feel like you want to work with me, maybe your goals are related to your photography business or mindset or anxiety or whatever it is, let me know. You can send me an email. You can send me a private message in the chat if you're interested in doing that package with me. Um, just drop me your email in the chat and I will contact you. This is a special version of my office hours. I've committed to having office hours every Friday. So it's either going to be here on Zoom or on Instagram Live. So I welcome you all to join me every Friday, and we'll have more office hours where you can just ask questions about anything about photography or whatever it is. And I look forward to seeing you all at the next office hours.